Interesting mix of personalities here in our second four-corner eliminator to determine the 2016 Young Lions Cup champion. We've already got one person qualified in Wani. Which one of these four are going to take on, we're going to go on to join Wani in that Elite Four?
Yes, the Final Four join Wani in the semifinals here. Starting off, we have Cash Flow Ken Broadway, is a veteran of the House of Glory rings, Excellence Pro Wrestling rings up in Sellersville, Pennsylvania. Try to get a word with him before the event here to learn about him. He's in the zone. He's ready to go. He's focused on becoming Young Lions Cup champion here today in Reading. So not sure if he's familiar with Nutrious X, so they've crossed paths elsewhere, but both making their Chikara debuts this fine afternoon.
Nutrious X has a very...
Not a belt, it's a cup, unfortunately.
Maybe he's going to melt it down and fashion it into a belt if he wins.
Interesting.
A la Kama melting down the Undertaker's urn and making a necklace out of it.
Interesting.
Cash Flow here showing off his power. Nutrious X has a very Brutus the Barber Beefcake-esque tights design, which I'm completely down with.
Side headlock here. Starting off slow. Maybe they're unfamiliar with one another. I'm not sure.
Or maybe so familiar he doesn't want Cash Flow to get any sort of momentum going, and is just trying to put the brakes on him before this thing even begins.
That's a good point. Arm drag there, make it a pair. Nicely done. Quick moving. Looks for the trio. Not so fast. Missed elbow by Broadway. Oh. Catches him. Pushes him off.
Not sure if that was intentional or not, but he was able to control the man with the back of his foot and still keep his balance for quite a while there. That was some impressive footwork there out of Nutrious.
Right, I'm not sure if it was caught. I thought that perhaps the Boar made a tag there. Larry P seemed to acknowledge it, but it might have just been accidental. I'm not going to wave that one off. The referee's discretion. Has him tied up there, only a 2 count, and we're virtually at a stalemate here. Speaking of barbers, what do you think? Cash Flow Ken Broadway calls that when he goes? What do you think he asks for?
I think he says, you know the part that they shave out of Road Warrior Hawk? That's the part I wanted.
The inverted hawk.
Yes, the inverted Road Warrior Hawk. That's what I would call that.
Hopefully, barbers everywhere know who Road Warrior Hawk is.
Right. He goes to Halstead Street in Chicago. That's where his barber is. Even though they were really from Minnesota. Sorry, folks.
I thought the Roman gang was from Minnesota.
I think they said the Road Warriors were too.
Dropped down by Broadway. Whoa, jeez. He's kind of throwing a flurry of feet there. If I'm not mistaken, these two here, the proletariat Boar of Moldova and the Cash Flow Ken Broadway, have crossed paths in Excellence Pro Wrestling rings. Based out of Sellersville, Pennsylvania, our friends there. And the Boar just swatting him out of midair, and now we're getting our first look. The money's $100? $100?
Somebody grab that quick.
Yeah, seriously. Time out. Give it to the Polaris Project.
I was going to say, put it in the Polaris Project donation box.
And now Delmi Exo. I said Ashley Bucks because they're sisters. And also making her debut here, Delmi Exo, also out of the Pioneer Valley Pro Promotion in Hadley, Massachusetts, also trained by Dynamite Doug Summers. And she's been wrestling slightly longer than her sister, 2.5 years of training and about 9 months pro, making her Chikara debut. And we saw this out of her sister earlier. Big fan of these satellite head scissors. The Galaxy Delmi guy. Yeah, you heard me.
She took it to the Boar, though, giving up a lot of size, giving up some experience. But there you see Nutrious X in with a handful of hair.
And now knocking her down in the ring and on the floor here. Wait a second, that's how you do with that money. Arm drag, chop, nicely done. A double knife edge here. Excellent use. A Lunder Blaze style there with those chops.
A little hip swivel there out of Nutrious X. That was repulsive.
No thank you.
He claims that he's a certified stud muffin. I didn't know you had to get certification for that.
I'd like to see some paperwork.
Right, it's like a notary public or a stud muffin sort of thing. Sure.
Certified. Uh-oh.
Right.
Keep your eyes on Delmi Exo. She's got 3 targets. Bam! 3 for the price of 1. Nicely done.
Taking a huge risk, and it paid off. All she's got to do is get in the ring. I'd let the referee count all 3 of them out. You automatically win, right?
Sure. Great way to I mean, her among the smaller, definitely not the most powerful of these four, but flying through the air, beautifully done. And now she's targeted Cashflow Ken Broadway as the object of her offense here. She had her pick of the. Oh wait a second. Now he's calling for a timeout. He's got some money.
Oh, he's trying to pay her off.
$400. We all know I'm winning the whole tournament. Go where you belong, and that's to the kitchen.
Come on.
Take that sort of mindset back to Louisville. Come on.
He churning butter? What's he doing?
I think he was insinuating that she was going to make a cake. Right.
Antiquated views out of Cashflow Ken Broadway. High cross body block.
Hook of the leg, a little bit of a delay, and that could have been the difference. And now the Proletariat Boar of Moldova. I think tags at this point. No. I see she rolled out of the ring.
Right.
Big shot there to Ken Broadway, upside the head. And you mentioned these two have a little bit of a history going back to their matches in Excellence Pro. I think Proletariat Boar of Moldova kind of curries the favor of the fans in the same way he does here in Chikara, as in they all hate him there too.
Yeah, Cashflow Ken Broadway not ingratiating himself to anyone, myself included, with that sexist comment. Nicely done. Very nimble, very quick on his feet. I must say I'm very impressed. Maybe not the attitude and the morals and the words of Ken Broadway, but a very talented wrestler.
Getting the big man up for that suplex, wasn't going for the cover. Taking a little time, a little bit of the strutting, a little bit of making it rain with that knee drop right across the snout of the Proletariat Boar of Moldova, but only a 2, says referee Larry Peace.
Shades of Jackie Fargo there.
Oh, and you see the Boar has slipped some of that money inside of his singlet, so even if he's not successful here, he's going to make out with a couple bucks. Nutrious X now in. Reversal.
Uppercut on the floor. Oh, that might have been low. Inside of the thigh there.
Oh, the certified combo. Series of kicks and shots. Neck breaker. Ken Broadway.
He must have been busy at the notary. Covering now, only 2. You see no one breaking that up there. Larry Peace just kind of letting this one break down.
Bryce, you yourself, referee, have been in matches like this before with multiple people. At what point do you just throw your hands up in the air and say, you know what, they're not listening, I'm just going to do my other job, which is count the pins and hope for the best?
I usually throw my hands up in the air at the point where I decide I just don't care anymore. And
you don't wave them like you just don't care.
I just don't care. I do care, that's not quite it, but at some point, you got to let the guys go. You got to let them do their thing. You got to let the match be the match. Let the best man or woman win. And it's not that you're in the way, but I mean, it's breaking the rules is one thing, but chaos is another thing, I would say. So in this where it's one-on-one on one-on-one, like, kind of let them do their thing here. Whoa!
He missed with the first attempt, but he scored with a second one.
Boar Gore. And that will be the end of the night or afternoon for Cashflow Ken Broadway. Back to the bank, perhaps. Delmi Exo here, wise beyond her 9 months as a pro wrestler. Coming in there, seeing an opportunity and taking it.
There's a double chops there, but only so long can she withstand and not fall to the power of the Proletariat Boar of Moldova, who just tosses her over into the corner, hoping Nutrious X gets in the ring. I'm not sure what he's thinking here. You got the smaller competitor, the less experienced competitor in the matchup. Take her, pick her apart. If Nutrious X doesn't want any part of the matchup, don't bring him in.
Sure. You saw how beneficial that gore was. A sidewalk slam here.
Spinning around, letting her think about it, and just crashes her to the canvas.
One hand for a lot of that, too. The Boar is not using sound strategy here. He's gone to the Juan Francisco de Corrado school of timing here, I believe. You win this one, you got another one later, and then another one after that to leave Reading with a cup. This is the time is of the essence here. Lackadaisical cover, the bravado of the Proletariat Boar of Moldova, not covering both the shoulders. And you see Exo there. I don't think Nutrious X wanted that tag. I don't know if that was a tag. Back elbows, make it a pair.
Yeah, Delmi's fighting 2 guys here at this point. There's only going to be so long that she's going to be able to withstand this. Ugh. Double knees across the midsection as she's draped across the middle strand. And Bryce, you mentioned it before. We saw it before out of Prakash Sabar, and you saw how it turned out for him. Proletariat Boar Moldova came into National Pro Wrestling Day pretty much accepting that the cup was his to lose.
Yep. something
And
to
that's
prove.
got to be why he's wasting so much time here.
He doesn't need to prove it to himself. He needs to prove it to everyone else here. Gave a couple extra seconds, and now the Boar and Delmi Exo are in a precarious position up here on the top rope.
Desperately, she's fighting to get out of this.
Headbutt. She does not have good footing, though. And now cover. And she has been eliminated. That's going to send Delmi Exo back to where Planet Exo, where she came from, unfortunately. And that's the end of the trail for her. And then there were two.
Did you say Planet Exo?
Planet Exo. It's after Neptune, I believe.
That's a long way to come just for Young Lions Cup, but that's how much it means. She's a traveling through time and space.
Yeah, I
but
don't know if I'd pick Reading if I were. No offense. But now the proletariat Boar of Moldova with an opportunity. Basically, it's a singles match now.
Yeah, he's got the height, he's got the power. You saw there, tossing Nutrious X all the way across the ring. And we talked before, the time that he was wasting before, it's down to one man. He's not wasting any time now. Nutrious X rolls him through.
Oh, man! And he just stole that one, had the Boar all folded up like an accordion. And he has got to be very angry with the result of this contest. But Nutrious X slipping his way to the semifinals of the Young Lions Cup.